Hello, Deep. I wanted to just give you a quick update because I don't want you to miss this. I remember a story from years ago where I had the privilege of meeting Tony Robbins. Now, someone like Nelson Mandela, Tony Robbins, like just these incredible people live in the world and you really want to experience them. And someone said to me, years ago, I didn't get to meet Nelson Mandela. It really made me sad. Obviously read a lot about him, but I never got to be in a room with him. And someone said the same thing with Tony Robbins. I said, look, the guy's getting to 65. He's going to retire. Like, you need to take this experience. And so I spent $50,000 and I flew to Vegas and to Fiji and I went and spent some really good quality time with him. I believe we got the same opportunity with Clem Sunter. Clem Sunter is one of the most famous people in South Africa. He was part of helping the democratic change in South Africa. He was the chairman of Anglo American. He's helped the Chinese government with their whole, massive growth and scenario planning around that. He's lectured at Harvard University. And, you've literally got a unique opportunity to learn directly from him. Yeah, you can read the articles. Yeah, one day you can go watch recordings. But right now, Clem's at the stage of his life where, I don't know how many more times we're going to be able to get to hear from him live. And there's nothing better than understanding the opportunity. So what are you going to get out of turning up? Well, in simple terms, he's going to explain to you the power of scenario planning. Imagine if there was a tool that you could use. Massive companies like Anglo American and countries like China and South Africa have used them to figure out scenarios going forward. Like, imagine if you had the power of scenario planning in your life based on all the uncertainties going on in the world right now so that you could make better decisions for you and your family. Then he's going to talk about the global scenarios. Like, what are the different scenarios that could play out? No one has a crystal ball. What are the different scenarios that could play out? And then what are the flags? So that's like, what are the important things that you should be looking for? Like, if you're going on a journey, you need to know what the different milestones are. Would you not want to know what the key milestones are to look for in terms of the global scenarios? And then finally, what are the probabilities? If there's a 70% probability, I'm being facetious, of a third world war, like, you need to plan for that, or an American collapse of the banking system, or an American collapse of the US dollar, or, like anything that you need to take into account. So you really need to know this, because if you're going to plan your future over the next 10 years, you should be taking these account. And if you're a South African citizen, imagine being able to do the same for South Africa. What are the scenarios for South Africa? What are the different flags and what are the probabilities? You're going to learn all of that in this session with Clem. And there's nothing more powerful than having that opportunity to learn directly from him. Trust me, I'm a man who studied him for years, literally 15 years. I wrote a book with him 10 years ago. And I know that it's difficult to try and get all the information out there. I mean, I've gone and studied all the stuff that's online from him. I've got his latest book. I've read it all in preparation. And yet there's nothing better, nothing clearer than when it comes directly from Clem himself. So that's your opportunity. Sign up. I'd highly recommend not missing. And if you're the type of person like me that's an action taker and literally wants to learn from the best, go right to the top, get the results quick, easy, safe, and simply, then I would join our VIP room as well, because that'll give you a unique opportunity to ask him any questions that you want and to learn from other like-minded, high achievers that want to know their results. See you on the Clem session. As I said, bit like Tony Robbins, bit like Nelson Mandela. I'm going to start with Nelson Mandela. And why I made this video, I don't want you to miss out with Clem Sunter. Cheers.